Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we are going to continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 7, Text 31. We are on the chapter of that Indra offends his spiritual master Bṛhaspati. Does anyone remember what we read yesterday?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We read that demigods, they approach Lord Brahma for advice, for help, since Bṛhaspati, he left, right, the place. So then Lord Brahma advised the demigods to approach Vishwaru, the son of Twashta, who is a Brahmana, as their spiritual guru master. So now they are approaching him.
Yeah, and as a result of Indra offending, the reaction was that they lost the battle to the demons.
Yes.
Yeah, and the demons were victorious because they pleased Shukracharya, their spiritual master. So we were hearing that how the mercy of the spiritual master is so important. That it's the strength of the spiritual master actually that made the demons demons win and the demigods lose. Srila Prabhupada would also always say that whatever he has done is by the mercy of his spiritual master. He would say his credit is just that he followed the instruction of his spiritual master. He would always say that. He said, there's no credit for me. The only credit is that I followed the instruction. Everything else is by the mercy of my spiritual master. That's what Srila Prabhupada would always say. So we are seeing from this last time also. It's being evident. So we'll continue reading with text 31. Tasmat pitranam artanaham.
Tasmat pitranam artanam.
Artim paraparabhavam.
Artim paraparabhavam.
Tapasapan nayam stata.
Tapasa apanayam
Tata.
Sandesham kartum arhasi.
Sandesham kartum arhasi.
Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Dear son, we have been defeated by our enemies and therefore we are very much aggrieved. Please mercifully fulfill our desires by relieving our distress through the strength of your austerities. Please fulfill our prayers. So the demigods are speaking to Vishwarup. Going on. Vrinimahe vopadhyayam.
Vrinimahe
Brahmishtam brahmanam gurum.
Brahmishtam guru.
Yathanjasa vijeshyama.
Yathanjasa vijeshyama.
Sapatnam stavate jasa.
Sapatnam stavate jasa.
Since you are completely aware of the Supreme Brahman, you are a perfect Brahmana, and therefore you are the spiritual master of all orders of life. We accept you as our spiritual master and director, so that by the power of your austerity, we may easily defeat the enemies who have conquered us. One must approach a particular type of guru to execute a particular type of duty. Therefore, although Vishwarup was inferior to the demigods accepted him as their guru to conquer the demons. Na garhayanti hi artheshu.
Nagarya
Arhayanti
Artheshu
Artheshu
Yavishtangari Abhivadanam
Yavishtangi
Yavistangari
Abhivadanam
Abhivadanam
Chandobhyo Nyatra Na Brahman
Chandobhyo
Chandogya
Nyatra Na Brahman
Vayojeshthasya Karanam.
Vayojeshtasya
Vayojeshtasya
Karanam.
The demigods continued, do not fear criticism for being younger than us. Such etiquette does not apply in regard to Vedic mantras. Except in relationship to Vedic mantras, seniority is determined by age. But one may offer respectful obeisances even to a younger person who is advanced in chanting Vedic mantras. Therefore, although you are junior in relationship to us, you may become our priest without hesitation. It is said, Vriddhatvam Vyasavina. One may be senior without being advanced in age. Even if one is not old, one gains seniority if he is senior in knowledge. So seniority does not come only with age. One who has gotten more knowledge, he may be younger in age, but he may be more advanced in knowledge. As we saw that when Sukadev Goswami, when he enters the scene, there are great personalities sitting there who are much, much older than him. His father is also there, Vyasadeva is there. Such great personalities are there. But they asked Sukadev Goswami to speak. He is the speaker of the Bhagavatam. So Vishwarup was junior in relationship to the demigods because he was their nephew. But the demigods wanted to accept him as their priest. And therefore he would have to accept obeisances from them. The demigods explained that this should not be a cause for hesitation. He could become their priest because he was advanced in Vedic knowledge. So the demigods are saying, oh, don't feel embarrassed that we are older than you and we are going to pay obeisances to you. You are higher in knowledge, so we are accepting you as our priest. Similarly, Chanakya Pandit advises Nichat api uttamam jnanam. One may accept education from a member of a lower social order. The Brahmanas, the members of the most elevated Varna, are teachers. But a person in a lower family, such as a family of Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, or even Shudras, may be accepted as a teacher if he has knowledge. So knowledge could be gotten from anyone. Like, I forget who said that gold should be taken from any place, even if it's lying in dirt, you should take, because it's gold after all. So lessons, knowledge should be taken from anyone. So one may be even and coming from any family, but if they have the Vedic knowledge, then should accept that knowledge. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu approved of this when he expressed this opinion before Ramananda Rai. Caitaniya Caritamita Madhya Leela, chapter 8, text 128. Kiba Vipra Kiba Nyasi Shudra Kene Nae. Ye Krishna Tattva Veta Se Guru Hai. It does not matter whether one is a Brahman, Shudra, Grahast, or Sannyasi. These are all material designations. A spiritually advanced person has nothing to do with such designations. Therefore, if one is advanced in the science of Krishna consciousness, regardless of his position in human society, he may become a spiritual master. So Lord Chaitanya says, E Krishna Tattva Veta Se Guru Hai. One who knows the science of Krishna is fit to become a spiritual master. Doesn't matter, he is Vipra, he is a Kshatriya, Brahman, Shudra. Doesn't matter which section of society he is coming from. Shri Rishi Uvacha
Shirishiruvata
Abhyarthita Suragane
Abhyarthita Suragane
Paurahitye Mahatapa
Paurahiti Mahatapa
Sa Vishwarupastan Aha
Vishwarupastan Aha
Prasannaha Shlakshnaya gira.
Prasanna
Prasannah
Gira.
Shlaksanaya Gira.
Sukadev Goswami continued, when all the demigods requested the great Vishwarup to be their priest, Vishwarup, who was advanced in austerities, was very pleased. He replied to them as follows. Shri Vishwarup Vacha
Shri Vishnu
Vishwarup Vacha
Vigarhitam Dharma Shile
Vigarhi
Vigarhitam Dharma Shiler
Brahma Varcha Upavyayam
Brahma
Brahma
Varcha
Varcha
Upavayam
Upapyayam
Katham nu Madvido Natha
Katham nu
Katham Vido
Vidonatha
Lokesher Abhiyachitam
Lokeri
Lokeshir
Abhiyachitam
Abhiyachitam
Pratyakhyasya Takchisya
Pratyakyasati Tatchishya
Sa Eva Swartha Uchyate.
Eva
Sa Eva
Swartha
Swartha Uchyate.
Sri Vishwarup said, O demigods, although the acceptance of priesthood is decried as causing the loss of previously acquired Brahmanical power, how can someone like me refuse to accept your personal request? You are all exalted commanders of the entire universe. I am your disciple and must take many lessons from you. Therefore, I cannot refuse you. I must agree for my own benefit. The professions of a qualified Brahmana are Patana, Pathana, Yajana, Yajana, Dan, and Pratigraha. The words Yajan and Yajan means that a Brahmana becomes a priest of the populace for the sake of their elevation. One who accepts the post of spiritual master neutralizes the sinful reactions of the Yajman, the one on whose behalf he performs yajna. So here we are trying to understand is that Vishwarupa is saying, as cause of previously acquired Brahmanical power. So Prabhupada is explaining that word Yajan and Yajan means Brahman becomes a priest of everyone, of others, for the benefit of others. That's why he's becoming a priest. He's helping them to do the yajna for their benefit. And in this way, he helps them take away their sinful karma, the bad karma. You know, like we may appoint a priest to help us do the yajna. So he helps by doing the yajna, he's helping people to take away the bad karma. Thus, the results of the acts previously performed by the priest or spiritual master are diminished. So when he's doing that, his own spiritual credit, well, not spiritual credit can never go away, but the ritualistic credit goes away. His previous ritualistic credit, what he's getting, that goes. That's the reason here Vishwarupa is saying acceptance of priesthood is decried as causing the loss of previously acquired Brahmanical power. Means whatever good rituals he's done, he's gotten the power, he's gotten the credit, that goes away because he's helping others to take away their sinful reactions. Therefore, priesthood is not accepted by learned Brahmanas. Nevertheless, the greatly learned Brahmana Vishwarup became the priest of the demigods because of his profound respect for them. Comments, questions?
Hare Krishna Shilpaji, there's just one question. He's the same Vishwarupa whom Indra will kill, or that one was some other Vishwarup-ji?
Indra is going to kill.
Yeah, so
However,
is he the
he
same
is-
one, or is there some other Vishwarup also? Or is there that
Prithviraj-
different story?
No, so we are going to see, we are going to hear the pastime. Now that's the
Okay.
pastime.
Oh, okay, okay. Because I said that he's making guru and they are putting so much effort. So maybe then that's the different one. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so let's continue hearing the pastime. What's going to happen now? Okay. Akinchananam hidanam shilonchanam. Tene. Oh, I can't hear
Is it
anyone. Okay.
really?
Tene. Huh?
You cannot hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear. Now.
Okay. So then just one more question. Then when we take the initiation, then also something like this is there that the guru, is it then the opposite that the guru takes our sins, the disciples' sins are taken by the guru? Is it like that? Because
So
here
it's the
he's saying that if
beginning.
okay,
So not all the sins are taken. See, initiation is the beginning, right? Not
okay,
that one
okay,
becomes completely free from all sinful reactions. Then one will be
okay,
liberated.
okay,
But it is beginning.
okay,
And anyway, some sins are already gone away by chanting Hare Krishna.
hmm,
Then some sins go away at the initiation, but it's the beginning. That's why it's called
okay,
initiation.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, thank
The beginning of the knowledge being
you.
revealed. Then, depending on the sincerity of the disciple, gradually.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll read Akinchananam hidanam shilonchanam.
Akincananam hidanam shilonchanam
Tene hanivartita sadhu satpriyaha.
Tene
Tene hanivartita sadhu satkriyah
Katham vigharyam nukaromi adhishvaraha.
katham
Katham vikaryam nukaromi adishvaraha
Poroda samhrishyati yena dulmatihi.
poro
Dasam rishyati yena durmatihi.
O exalted governors of various planets, the true Brahmana, who has no material possessions, maintains himself by the profession of accepting Shilonchana. In other words, he picks up grains left in the field and on the ground in the wholesale marketplace. By this means, householder Brahmanas who actually abide by the principles of austerity and penance maintain themselves and their families and perform all necessary pious activities. A Brahmana who desires to achieve happiness by gaining wealth through professional priesthood must certainly have a very low mind. How shall I accept such priesthood? So Prabhupada is explaining in the purport, a first-class Brahman does not accept any rewards from his disciples or yajman. So Brahman, it's not that he's doing business, not that, oh, the original is supposed to be like that they offer their services, or they're offering all this, their knowledge, or they're helping people do the yagyas for the benefit, for the betterment of us. And in return, of course, they were maintained because they are not going to take up a job, because their time is engaged in spiritual practices. So practicing austerities and penances, he instead goes to the agricultural field and collects food grains left by the agriculturists to be collected by Brahmanas. Similarly, such Brahmanas go to marketplaces where grains are purchased and sold wholesale, and there they collect grains left by the merchants. In this way, such exalted Brahmanas maintain their bodies and families. Such priests never demand anything from their disciples to live in opulence, imitating Kshatriyas or Vaishyas. So the pure Brahman, he would offer his services, but how he will maintain himself? He is going to the field. Whatever grain is left by the farmer, he would just take that. Or he would go to the wholesale bazaar and whatever grain is left there by the traders, by the merchants, he would just accept that. So because Brahmins, they would be very simple, keeping body and mind together, just to engage in austerity and penance, spiritual practices. In other words, a pure Brahman voluntarily accepts a life of poverty and lives in complete dependence on the mercy of the Lord. Not very many years ago, a Brahmana in Krishnanagar, near Navadvip, was offered some help from the local zamindar, Raja Krishna Chandra. The Brahman refused to accept the help. He said that since he was very happy in his householder life, taking rice given by his disciples and cooking vegetables of tamarind leaves, there was no question of taking help from the zamindar. So Prabhupada is saying that not many years ago, there was this Brahman, Prabhupada is mentioning, in Navadvip, in Krishnanagar, near the Navadvip, where the zamindar wanted to give him some money, but he said, no, I'm happy. I have a simple life. I can get my rice and sabji. So I don't need anything. The conclusion is that although a Brahmana may receive much opulence from his disciples, he should not utilize the rewards of his priesthood for his personal benefit. He must use them for the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So whatever a Brahman receives, he engages it in the service of Krishna. Engages it in the service of the deity, of the temple. You're engaging it in the service of Krishna, to propagate Krishna consciousness. Tathapi na pratibhruyam.
Tathapi na pratibhruyam.
Guru bihi prarthitam kiyat.
Guru
Gurubihi
prarthitam
prarthitam kiyat.
kiyat.
Bhavatam parthitam sarvam.
Bhavatam
Bhavatam
prarthitam
prarthitam
sarvam.
sarvam.
Praner arthescha sadhaye.
Prane
Prane
sadhaye.
artescha sadhaye.
All of you are my superiors, therefore, although accepting priesthood is sometimes reproachable, I cannot refuse even a small request from you. I agree to be your priest. I shall fulfill your request by dedicating my life and possessions. So he's saying, I'm going to become your priest. Shri Badaraya Niruvacha.
Sri Badaraya Niruvacha.
Tebhya evam pratishrutya.
Tebhya
evam pratishrutya.
Vishwarupo Mahatapa.
Vishwarupo
Vishwarupo
Mahatapa.
Mahatapaha.
Paurahityam Vritas-chakre.
Paurahityam
Paurahityam
vritaschakre.
vritaschakre.
Paramena Samadhina.
Paramena
Paramena
samadhina.
samadhina.
Sri Sukadev Goswami continued, okay, after making this promise to the demigods, the exalted Vishwarup, surrounded by the demigods, performed the necessary priestly activities with great enthusiasm and attention. The word samadhina is very important. Samadhi means complete absorption with an undiverted mind. Complete absorption and undiverted mind. Not very easy, no? To completely focus. Vishwarup, who was a most learned Brahmana, not only accepted the request of the demigods, but took their request seriously and performed the activities of priesthood with an undiverted mind. In other words, he accepted the priesthood not for material gain, but to profit the demigods. Such is the duty of a priest. The word puraha means family and hita means benefit. Thus, the word purohit indicates that the priest is the well-wisher of the family. So the priest would be called purohit. So Prabhupada is saying, what does puraha mean? Puraha, family. Hit means benefit. So well-wisher of the family. The meaning of the word puraha is first. A priest's first duty is to see that his disciples benefit spiritually and materially by all means. then he's satisfied. A priest should never be interested in performing Vedic rituals for his personal benefit. So he's going to help them do the rituals. And then Prabhupada is saying that it is the Brahmana, it does, the priest should do the Vedic ritual for the benefit of the people he's helping to do, not for his own personal benefit. Yeah. Surad Visham Shriyam Guptam
Suradisham Shriyam Guptam
Anush Shanasya Api Vidyaya
Oshanasya
Vidyaya
Achidyadan Mahendraya
Achidyadan Mahendraya
Vaishnavya Vidyaya Vibhuho.
Vaishnavya
Vibhuho.
The opulence of the demons, who are generally known as the enemies of the demigods, was protected by the talents and tactics of Shukracharya. But Vishwarup, who was most powerful, composed a protective prayer known as the Narayan Kavach. By this intelligent mantra, he took away the opulence of the demons and gave it to Mahendra, the king of heaven. The distinction between the demigods, devas, and demons, asuras, is that the demigods are all devotees of Lord Vishnu, whereas the demons are devotees of demigods like Lord Shiva, Goddess Kali, and Goddess Durga. So we've seen, right, like how Ravan was a devotee of who?
The goddesses Kali and Shivji.
Shivji, I know, also of Kali, is it? Then I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, also Durga. Because I
Oh.
think
Your voice is breaking, huh? Or is it my internet? I'm not sure. Can't hear you, Neha. Hare Krishna. Is it my internet? Are you all able to hear me?
No, it looks good. We were hearing well. Neha is coming back. She just left. Yeah, yeah.
Ah, okay.
We can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So, okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Neha.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah. Can hear
Okay.
you now. I hear. We are going to read now. Sometimes the demons are also devotees of Lord Brahma. For example, Hiranyakashipu was a devotee of Lord Brahma. Ravan was a devotee of Lord Shiva. And Mahishasura was a devotee of Goddess Durga. The demigods are devotees of Lord Vishnu. Vishnu Bhakta Smrito Deva. Whereas the demons, asuras, Tad Viparyayaha, are always against the Vishnu Bhaktas or Vaishnavas. To oppose the Vaishnavas, the demons become devotees of Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Kali, Durga, and so on. In the days of yore, many long years ago, there was animosity between the devas and the asuras, and the same spirit still continues, for the devotees of Lord Shiva and Goddess Durga are always envious of Vaishnavas, who are devotees of Lord Vishnu. This strain between the devotees of Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu has always existed. In the higher planetary systems, fights between the demons and the demigods continue for a long, long time. So like how we heard in the pastime of Hiranyakashipu, and that's why Lord Nishingadev appeared, because he was, it's like, I want to be God. Herein we see that Vishwarup made for the demigods a protective covering, saturated with a Vishnu
Good.
mantra. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, I thought someone was saying something. Okay. So sometimes the Vishnu mantra is called Vishnu Jvara and the Shiva mantra is called Shiva Jvara. We find in the Shastras that sometimes the Shiva Jwar and Vishnu Jwar are employed in the fights between the demons and the demigods. So in the Krishna book also there is a reference, no? That the Vishnu Jwar and Shiva Jwar fight, and then the Vishnu Jwar, of course, is victorious. The word Surat Visham, which in this verse means of the enemies of the demigods, also refers to the atheists. Srimad Bhagavatam elsewhere says that Lord Buddha appeared for the purpose of bewildering the demons or atheists. The Supreme Personality of Godhead always awards his benediction to devotees. So, Suradvisham, enemy of the demigod. That's what Prabhupada is saying it means. Enemy of the demigod means also enemy of God, because demigods are devotees. So their enemies are also God's enemies then. So that's why it refers to atheists. And then Prabhupada is saying that Bhagavatam mentions that Lord Buddha appeared to bewilder the demon or atheist. So he attracted everyone to themselves. He's God himself. So he said, he didn't say anything about the soul. Lord Buddha didn't say. He said, you just follow me, follow me. And by following him, then they can get spiritual advancement. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead always awards his benediction to devotees. The Lord himself confirms this in Bhagavad Gita 9:31. Kaunteya pratijanihi na me bhakta pranashyati. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. So why Krishna is telling Arjuna to say it? Why is he not saying it? That my
Because
devotee never.
because he's giving that power to that if my devotee declares, then I'm going to do it. If I say that I might not, people will think that. But if my devotee says, then I surely do. So to glorify his devotee, that he loves his devotee so much.
Yeah, to glorify the devotee. Yeah. It's true, because people may say, oh, Krishna sometimes may break his promise, but devotees promise Krishna will make sure it's kept. Like to keep Brahma's promise for Hiranyakashipu, then Krishna came as Lord Nishingadev to keep Brahma's words, neither day nor night nor weapons or, all the different conditions. Yeah. Okay. Yaya Gupta Sahasraksho.
Gupta Sahasraksho.
Yigye Surachamur Vibhuhu.
Igaye asura
Shurasamurabhu.
Tam Prahasa Mahendraya.
tam
Prahasa
prahasamhendraya
Mahendraya.
Vishwarupa Udaradihi.
Vishwarupa
Vishwarupa
udaradihi.
Udadihi.
Vishwarup, who was most liberal, spoke to King Indra Sahasraksha, the secret hymn that protected Indra and conquered the military power of the demons. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 6th canto, 7th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Indra offends his spiritual master Bṛhaspati. So Mahendra is King Indra, king of heaven, Mahendra. And Sahasra Akshaha. Indra is called Sahasra Akshaha, 1,000-eyed demigod. Indra has 1,000 eyes, no, all over his body. So, yeah, that's another thing. So now the Narayan Kavach Shield, chapter 8. This chapter describes how Indra, the king of heaven, was victorious over the soldiers of the demons, and it also describes the shield of the Vishnu mantra. To take protection from the shield, one must first touch kusha grass and wash one's mouth with Achman mantras. One should observe silence and then place the 8-syllable Vishnu mantra on the parts of his body and place the 12-syllable mantra on his hands. The 8-syllable mantra is Om Namo Narayanaya. This mantra should be distributed all over the front and back of the body. The 12-syllable mantra, which begins with the pranav Omkar, is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Prabhupada is explaining that how one chants this mantra. One should do the Achman, first touch Kushagras, then do the Achman, and then mark the body while chanting the Om Namo Narayanaya and Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. One syllable should be placed on each of the fingers and should be preceded by the pranav Omkar. Thereafter, one must chant Om Vishnave Namaha, which is a 6-syllable mantra. One must progressively place the syllables of the mantra on the heart, the head, between the 2 eyebrows, on the shikha, and between the eyes. And then one should chant Maha Astraya Fat. And with this mantra, protect himself from all directions. Na Devo Devam Archayet. One who has not risen to the level of a Deva cannot chant this mantra. So this mantra is to be chanted who's a demigod. According to this direction of the Shastra, one must think himself qualitatively non-different from the Supreme. So one who's understood himself that I'm part and parcel of God. One who's understood I'm not the body, I'm spirit, soul. So one needs to be qualified to chant this mantra. After finishing this dedication, one must offer a prayer to the 8-armed Lord Vishnu, who sits on the shoulders of Garuda Dev. One also has to think of the fish incarnation, Vaman, Kurma, Nrsimha, Varaha, Parshuram, Ramchandra, the elder brother of Lakshman, Nar Narayan, Dattatreya, an empowered incarnation, Kapila, Sanat Kumar, Ayagriva, Narada Deva, the incarnation of a devotee, Dhanvantari, Rishabdev, Yagya, Balaram, Vyasadev, Buddhadev, and Keshav. One should also think of Govinda, the master of Vrindavan, and one should think of Narayan, the master of the spiritual sky. One should think of Madhusudan, Tridhama, Madhav, Rishikesh, Padmanabha, Janardhan, Damodar, and Vishveshwar, as well as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself. After offering prayers to the Lord's personal expansions, known as the Swamsha and Shaktiavesh avatars, one should pray to the weapons of Lord Narayan, such as the Sudarshan, Gada, Shanka, Khadga, and bow. After explaining this process, Sukadev Goswami told Maharaj Parikshit how Vishwarup, the brother of Dhritarashtra, described the glories of the Narayan Kavach to Indra. So we will read from the text 1 tomorrow. Did anyone want to add anything or comment? In question? Okay. So tomorrow we will hear about the Narayan Kavach. Thank you so much for listening in and joining in. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Hare Krishna.